I'm ready.
You ready? 1, 2, 3. Hello and welcome to Hello.
That was really gentle.
That was. Should we do it again?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Hello.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Marketing Corner.
Timmy, keep both of those in.
Yeah, it does work.
Keep both of those
like
in.
that's like a retake.
That's true. We have to be excited because
Episode 150.
episode 150.
We've been doing this 150 times now.
150 times.
Fuck me. I've never done
Not
anything
counting the
150
times
times.
that we recorded and it wasn't recording.
That has happened a few times too. A few too
So
many
we're
times.
probably more like the 160.
Probably more like the 250.
We're so shit.
Yeah, we're
no,
really
we're
shit.
not.
It's
Timmy,
not that bad.
Timmy has saved us.
150 episodes.
150.
Yeah. So
Should we
today,
reach across that? Hey, pal.
We're touching back.
Hey, pal.
Yeah.
Hey, pal. All right.
today's gonna be a little bit more. I won't call it special, but a little bit special.
It's a little bit special.
It's a little bit more fun, if you could say.
Yeah. It's
Like
a
what?
hypothetical.
It's one of those prediction kind of things.
Yeah, it's prediction-y,
Yeah, it's prediction-y, right?
prediction heavy. So we're talking today. You're going to be speaking about an interesting topic very shortly. So
Yes.
this is your warm up.
This is my warm-up.
The 13,000 listeners right now is your warm up for
Yeah, I'm warming
that
up
event
in this.
later on today.
Yeah.
So the question that you have been posed, which we are posing to each other, ergo posing to the audience,
Yeah.
is if you were to build a SaaS business today in
Yes.
the era of AI, what would you look for in order to kind of future-proof it?
Yeah.
I know you hate that term, but to build a moat to protect yourself from
Yeah.
AI replacing it.
Yeah, and
Very
I think it's such and when I was asked this like by a part of a networking group that I'm doing, and I felt it was such a good question because also, and then I asked it to you, and I was like, what would we actually do?
What would you
right?
do?
What would I actually do?
Yeah,
right?
because everything too, I think, we're so programmed to just be like AI enabled.
Exactly.
But actually, how do you protect yourself from being eaten up by
and
AI?
I think I want to give like before like also contextual like just giving a little bit of context on why I think it's so interesting with all this stuff with AI happening. Here's like we see a lot of companies in SparkForce, right? We work with a lot of companies, talk to a lot of potential clients and stuff as well, and those companies touch a lot of companies, right? So we have actually a lot of data and a lot of insights these days.
Yeah.
And just let me give you an example. We recently, to be honest, we recently lost a client, and the reason we lost a client, they had one of their best years ever last year in terms of marketing, in terms of sales, everything's good. In the first 3 months of this quarter, everything has been complete shit.
Okay.
And the reason it's been shit is because AI is fundamentally eating their business model. Their business model is almost from day to day, it almost feels that way.
Yeah.
From the day to day, it stopped existing. And it's not. Maybe I'm being a little bit
Doom and gloom.
a little bit doom and gloom here. It's not that bad, but it's like you can almost say they lost product market fit in a quarter.
That's wild.
And I personally, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
I've never seen like that happen so fast before. Like you can talk about the Dropboxes of the world and Google Drive released, and then but then adoption rate took time, and it wasn't like it doesn't happen overnight. Like,
yeah.
but this is almost like it's almost overnight.
Yep.
And it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I just think like. And now I'm reflecting on it. It's been a few weeks now, almost a month right now. I'm like, okay, why is this happening? Like, how? Then this question becomes like, how can you protect yourself?
How do you protect yourself?
Because then we also, on the other end, and I'll get to that, but we have some other cases internally. These are thriving right now. Some of these companies killing it, and of course, yes, something to do with us being good. But I'm joking. But more like. What is it they're doing, and why are there? And there's some clear things that I'm seeing that they have built into their offering and product that makes them AI proof or resistant. So I think that's at least also where I'm coming from and how I'm seeing the landscape, if you can say.
Yeah. No, I think that's interesting what we talk about too. Like, this is not what we're talking about today, but we've already covered the kind of authenticity and creating content that just sounds like everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what we're talking about here.
No.
It's more, if you were to build a business today, what does that business have to, what components does it need to have
Exactly.
to avoid being eaten by AI overnight? Because it is, I mean, we're seeing the fall of image creation and content creation and songs and, video content. Like every part of our lives is now being kind of infiltrated by AI. So how do we?
And I think like there's so many people out there who are trying to do these like predictions of like CRMs are dead. Like I don't know if you heard that. Like and there's a lot of stuff like, and I don't think that's the case.
No.
That's my take. But I understand that I think the more interesting thing is just like everything's a little bit up in the air because nobody really knows like what's going to happen to if HubSpot will exist in 10 years or 5 years or Salesforce. I do think they will.
I think they will. Yeah.
I don't think that that's necessarily changing, but things are changing and some of
quickly, very quickly. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like it's never happened this fast before. That's the interesting part.
Yep.
Anyways, so let's get to it. And we also think it's interesting because like you and I technically we've never actually built a SaaS company ourselves before.
No.
Like I've been a part of very early stage and like I've been build another company, but I've never built a SaaS today. But so I think that's a pretty good starting point.
Yeah.
So let's start from a product perspective. Do you have anything? I have a few things I want to do, but do you have anything you would like look for in when you build a SaaS that you would be including?
Well, we talked about this before, and I don't want to steal any of yours.
Okay, I'll go first.
So maybe you should go first.
I'll go first. Okay, because I think the moat that I'm seeing, like the thing I think is differentiating is essentially two things. Part one is what I call proprietary data.
Yes.
And for me, that is data that you can't recreate using AI in the same way. So for instance, whenever you use, if your platform today is based on like, hey, we have some data that we collect from Facebook and then we analyze it. AI can do that in a heartbeat. If your platform is building dashboards, easily replicatable, right? All that stuff.
Claude. Right now, guys, I'm on the Claude train big time, but I just put my CSVs into Claude, visualize this data. Boom, done.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to change something? Simple. Boop, boop, beep. Change it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But so that I think is super threatened. But I think everything that has proprietary data. I'm gonna use an example actually from we use a tool called Soyos. It's one of my good friends, Christian, who runs it. It's a super simple tool that just surveys how employees are doing.
Yep.
Right. And I don't think the actual survey part super easily to replicate by AI. You can create a survey super easy. But what it cannot recreate in the same way, at least like you can create the tool, but you can't create the data. So like the AI can't tell, you can't ask Claude, hey, how is Casper doing?
Yeah.
Because he hasn't answered. Like he hasn't, how's Jen doing? Yeah, well, I don't know. Like I can talk to you, but the AI wouldn't know either.
No, because you'd have to log in. And
you have to log in and you haven't actually filled out that survey. So if you're collecting some sort of data point that's unique and proprietary, that only you have access to, or your customer in this case, and then you attach some sort of AI on top of it, you can do whatever to it, that's strong. Yep. That's really, really strong. Those are the ones I see out also in the market and with our clients, those are the ones that they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, because it isn't scrapable.
It isn't scrapable. Yeah. It isn't based on creating. It's not because like I think a lot of the software in SaaS today are built on, hey, you have a lot of data. Let's take your data and do something smart for you. Like create a presentation or something, or create a document or something based on the data you already have, or creating dashboards, or building a system, or securing your stuff based on some stuff. Well, it's taking data you already have. AI can to some extent do that. Yeah. And of course, it difference between industries and the complexity. I get that, but fundamentally, all of these things are in danger of being changed by AI.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing.
So you can. But in terms of like the Zoyos example, that's something we also use at Onamundo. You can't scrape that data, right?
No.
You won't. But once that person fills it out,
yes,
then you can use an AI layer to pull
everything
out
around
things,
it.
right?
To be frank, is not sacred at all.
Yeah.
You could technically build your own survey and you can build your own data points and stuff. So I don't think it's just it's the point of like having at least collected that data. And I would even go as far as like this is an example of something that's sort of proprietary but not perfect, because like if you could create the survey and get that out right.
Yep.
And I think that brings me to my second point. So the other ones that we see working also something, and I know we talk about SaaS right now, but the other ones that have a hardware component attached.
Yes. And I want to actually talk a little bit. That was the one I was going to mention, but you actually mentioned it first. But you know, when I worked at Onamundo, we did have had a SIM card. The downside of that is people want things right away, right? So if someone signs up for a demo, and this was something that
that was
chocolate milk alert. You tried to be all smooth, but the chocolate milk has betrayed you, Casper. Anyway, no, but that was, you're right. because AI cannot replace a physical component, but also in this age of we want it now.
Yes.
Waiting for something to be mailed out to you it kind of kills the momentum as well.
I get that.
And that's something we saw at Anamundo, which with the best will in the world, we wanted to do a free trial. I was in charge of the free trial and it was something that sales really wanted. But you place your order and then we mail out your SIM card and you'll have your free trial once you get this in the mail. And so even if you have a physical component, yes, it cannot be replaced, but you also have to factor in that people have this kind of immediacy.
There's a mindset change, right, happening in the market. And I think we see it from some of the clients as well. They tell us that like, hey, people, they want things way faster. And also we see it in our clients. Everything has to be faster and more speedy. Yeah. I'm totally buying that. I just fundamentally still think like if you need, and let's use Onamundo as an example, if you need some sort of IoT device, well, you have to use it.
You have to.
Like, there's not
a way around it.
There's not a way around it. Like, I can't really get AI to build me a SIM card.
It's just something to think about when you're building the SaaS business is how do we get things out to people quickly?
Speed becomes a thing, right?
And then that's a cost, right? Yeah. There's a cost implication to send things out, but you're absolutely right. And we've seen actually, there was a company we were looking at, I won't say their name because we didn't end up acquiring that company, was at Verdane, but they had an app that was working quite well, but the next level to make it sticky was a physical component that they wanted to give you. It was about tracking mileage. Yeah. And you could do it in an app, right? You can do it with your Google Maps and stuff like that. But if you have a physical component, it's going to be way more accurate. So, and if someone has a physical component that they've installed on their vehicle, way more sticky.
Way more sticky. Right? And it's funny because like for so many years, at least I personally felt that we were all trying to get away from that. Right? Like everyone was like, oh, I don't want a physical component. I just want to have everything in my phone. That's great.
SaaS.
I just want to have that app. I don't want to have a physical. And it was like same like didn't want to have everything you wanted to have it in the cloud, right? Everything, let's put it in the cloud. And now everyone's like, hey, let's have on-prem solutions instead, right? So it's like...
And the cloud thing, sorry not to go on a tangent, but this is something we're also seeing because of legislation differences, particularly in the USA and Europe, people don't want to be on the cloud anymore because then you're kind of on different regulations. You're not necessarily going to be EU regulations versus American. This is just something specifically America. We're seeing like AWS, people are moving away from that because it's America based and you want your data stored in Europe because of blah, blah, like it's getting more and more complex.
And it's also, speaking of the cloud cost, I'm not an expert on this, but I've seen many, I think it's, what's the guy called? Anyways, that's so embarrassing. Anyways, okay, cool. But he actually did for Basecamp.
Basecamp, yes, I know Basecamp. Yes.
Basecamp. They actually moved everything. He did a long bunch of LinkedIn posts about how they moved away from the cloud and how they ended up saving a bunch of money on it, just in-housing it themselves.
We're literally doing a Google Ads campaign saying we are EU cloud only.
And that's for the security part. Here is just like the pure cost of it. Because because like sometimes like this is going on of derailing a little bit, but like they buy like at the end of the day, it's not like Amazon has it. They have a fucking server. Yeah. Like it's just a server. It's not. Sometimes we over
big server.
Yeah, it's like a big, very fancy. Like it's just a server, man. Like let's be real. Yeah. So, and I think he called it out, and then I think he's right.
Yeah. So I think that's an interesting one. It is a moat. If you have a physical device, it sets you apart. It is not replicable by AI. Until you maybe hook up AI to 3D printing and I don't know, then we're all gonna die. But
but it's also far away, right?
It's far away, yeah.
And
so that's
we can't. I don't think we can protect ourselves from every scenario. Yeah.
But then are you SaaS?
Oh yeah.
Are you SaaS?
Like there's a SaaS component if you have like a software attached to your hardware, right?
Like, Onamundo SaaS.
I would say so, right? I think one thing I just want to attach quickly, and it also goes if there's a hardware component, if there's also a service component.
Like a human being
component, right? Some sort of service that you can attach to your SaaS, and because like it's been again, it's so funny to say these things because I feel like we've been trying so hard to like no human contact.
Yeah, like, the less humans, the lower the CAC.
So we can just have an AI chatbot and like boom, 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 then you never talk to a human. But like opposite, if you have any part of like where a human is not replicatable by an AI to some extent in part of the how they use the product. That's actually a moat as well. Can be a moat. It's not as easily defined for me, but there's something there.
And that's that brings me to like Cerebro, where I am at the moment, right? It's a compliance GRC software, and we see a lot of our competitors are really leaning into AI. And while we are going to be using AI within our product, we do not think that people want to trust their legal advice to AI. So we are really leaning into like we have actual human beings that you can talk to help you make sure that you're compliant and to help you, you know, kind of work on your compliance strategy and your risk management. Like it's a human being who is trained in this and who knows the latest trends
and I think
won't hallucinate.
no, and I think it's more for me, like as an example, I would trust AI on the 90%, just to be honest, but I wouldn't trust it on the last 10%.
I would trust AI to find out where I'm at risk.
Yeah.
Look at what I'm doing and
Exactly.
tell me what the risk is. But if I want to make sure, okay, is this compliant? I want a human. I want
Exactly.
a lawyer
And
that I can point to afterwards and go, but they told me.
And it's the validation part, right?
Yeah, it makes you feel
and
safe.
you need to have that component somewhat. If your product was only AI or like just a software product these days, then it's also again coming back to it's easy to replicate. Like you can easily copy it.
Yeah.
Like it's not really.
Yeah. And then we saw, I don't know if you saw in the news, but someone got their whole hands on Claude's code.
Yeah.
So they can create a Claude now.
Yeah.
It's just, so anything is replicatable. The other one that I want to talk about is kind of owned media.
Yes.
Owned media as your moat, because so these are kind of the channels. For those who don't know, owned media are things that like an email list or a community.
And that's more on the go-to-market side of things, right?
Yeah, it's a bit more go-to-market as opposed to the product. But I think, you know, we have a very active community, right, as part of our offering to our customers.
Yeah.
So it's not it's kind of part of the product, right?
Yeah.
You're buying into this community that you can be a part of to ask advice to. But that is not replicatable. Yes, but like YouTube channels and a newsletter that has lots of people signed up, or a Substack, that is like the audience.
100%.
Yeah, you can't replicate
and it
that.
goes back to this whole we've had talks about this, like this founder-led, right? Using founders and using that. It's the same idea / principle. Like you as a founder-led, you bring in followers of your founder,
Yes.
like founders. It's a little bit the same here. You just bring in community
Yeah.
where it's even more powerful to an extent, right?
And it leans into that authenticity,
Yes.
right? It's like, okay, I have a question, like Apple, right? And Apple, you usually have to ask the community
Yeah.
before you can get help from an Apple employee. And so how do we support at scale? How do we share ideas and things like that? And I think community building is kind of the gold in GTM, and it's
Yes.
so hard to do because you can't sell to them. But you have this active audience that consumes what you give them.
Yeah.
And the second you start looking like AI, the second you start looking like you're kind of zoned out and outsource this to a robot, you're going to lose your community.
And that's not easy to copy in any way.
No.
Like you can't really like. We're not at the point where people like. If you show up face to face, that's still different, right?
Yeah.
No, I 100% buy that.
And then that feeds into word of mouth, which, especially in the age of AI,
Yeah.
you want trusted recommendations.
Yes.
So you're talking about like founders with followers. It's kind of like the influencer.
Yeah.
Maybe, yes, someday we could have AI influencers, of course, but it's that trusted, I trust your recommendation. I don't trust what's out there on the internet, right?
Exactly. I would totally agree.
So
I think it goes back to, and maybe I'll flip it a little bit, because now we talked a little bit about like what the product side and like a little bit about the go-to-market. Those are the things we bring into a SaaS. I think also important to note some of the things I wouldn't do with that SaaS as well. Is also I wouldn't. I think infrastructure on AI, everything AI infrastructure related. If you can go into that, awesome. It's not for everyone. It's probably pretty hard to do, but here I still think there's potential. But I think in the beginning it was a lot of use case focused apps that were being developed, like. Hey, I want to make lawyers more efficient or stuff like that. And those things in my world, those are the ones that got funding in the beginning. Those are the ones that are going to crash.
yeah.
In like those are the ones like, and also because I heard a story about a company the other day. They had, I'm not going to mention them here, but they had received the funding round. AI narrow use case. Wasn't unique in a sense. It was,
But it had the word AI in it.
it had a word
So,
AI. It wasn't
here.
unique. They were solving a problem. I think it was for the legal industry, and they were doing. I think it was 2 million. I can't remember, it's euro, AR, or DKK. It doesn't actually matter that much. They were doing. Let's say it's $2 million in ARR. So yeah, it got some traction, and they had a valuation of $500 million.
If you're listening right now, our heads are against the desk.
And I was like, really looking. I was like, what makes them so unique? It's just the platform.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing here that you can't. 3 months and some good coders, or even if you need 3 months, I don't know, probably not. Done.
And do you follow Corporate Natalie and Corporate Corp Bro?
Corp Bro,
Corp Bro.
yeah.
They did a really funny skit about this where they were both like standing in front of investors and they're like, "Hi, we don't have product market fit, but we have a lot of ideas. Is AI involved? Yes, AI is involved. Okay, 500 million. How's that sound?" Okay, cool. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks. See ya. Bye. Yeah. And I think that's kind of like those I'm worried about. That's the kind of companies I would not do. That's, I think, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think right now we're it's almost like that growth of all costs era where if you have this thing, you're going to get a ton of money because everyone wants to be first.
Yes.
But I also think it's a strategy, right? Like I'm going to start this AI company, wait for it to get acquired.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you very much, cash in. And now I have a new idea about AI. Because there is, like, right now it's kind of limitless in so many ways, except for math. Math, it's not so great at still. And images, because you've seen, if anyone follows me on LinkedIn, the AI.
I like it. I think I look pretty much like
You look amazing.
I look pretty good. I look pretty cool.
Whenever
it's
I
not
ask
how
AI.
I look in reality, but it's pretty good.
It's so funny. Have you seen those things where it's like, okay, don't change anything. Don't change anything. And to ask it like 100 times.
It just changes everything.
That's how I feel when I do AI images of us. I'm like, don't change anything.
Nano banana the shit out of this.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But,
yes. What else?
I think if you have, those are the kind of like things that I would have if I were to build a SaaS, and I don't think you have to. I think, but if you don't have any of those three, we just mentioned like core things, like the 2 product modes, and then a more like go-to-market mode. Like you could also argue that you have some sort of other. Sometimes you can have like a strong go-to-market motion that you either have some skills in. Like you could also be like, you see a gap in the market where like there's a go-to-market where if you create a product here and the other ones in the market are bad at it, then you can have a strong go-to-market motion and then you can kind of eat away at the market. That could work. Like as an example, we work with a lot with security companies. There's a million different security. And they are, like security companies are for some reason, most of them not the greatest at marketing. It's a little bit boring. It's not that hard to stand out.
Yes.
So if you have like a different take at standing out, like you positioning, messaging, like using just simple as using different colors, just standing out and being a little bit more bold in the market, that can win. That doesn't necessarily make you future-proof, but those kind of things still work.
And that kind of goes into a little bit about what Sandy, you had on your show, talks about. Like everyone sounds the same.
Yes.
Everyone sounds the same. Everyone sounds the same. So even if I were just moving away from like the product itself, but just stand the fuck out. Yeah. Because the second you outsource your content to AI, everyone sounds the same.
Yes, 100%.
And everyone, it's the same, almost the same template that you have in Webflow, or everything looks exactly the same. So I think, using video content, of course, yes, someone can come and go, what about Synthesia? But like, let's be honest, you can tell right now. You can tell when it's a robot. But I think having, I focus predominantly on the go-to-market side of things, but anything authentic. Having an active community of people who swallow up your content, love what you do, are big advocates of what you do, that's going to help you kind of protect you from being replaced by AI, because AI cannot create a community.
100%. Yeah. That's gonna be the mode when it comes to GTM from my perspective when it comes to marketing. So that's, if I had to start a SaaS, I would look for building something that had using some proprietary data, preferably something we collect ourselves somehow, using some sort of hardware component, and then building a community around that category. Yeah. If you can do those 3 things, that would be where I would put my money on.
Yeah. All easy things.
Yeah.
Just go do it. Just go do it.
Yeah. Easy.
Super easy.
You call me if you find it.
So let me ask you this: as a business owner,
yes,
what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Sorry to put you on the spot with 2 minutes left to go.
Let's go.
But you are a SaaS business. You don't have you have a pretty active following, so I would say you have a pretty good community. You don't necessarily have proprietary data. You don't have a physical component.
I think
you have a physical event.
I think let's. It's a great question. Well, let's flip it on SparkForce and say, like, what are we challenged by? I think one of the core issues we are challenged, like core things we're challenged by, is that not only Oh, there's actually a lot in this. It's like I'll try
Whole
to
new episode, guys,
I'll
sorry.
try to keep it simple. But is that so? The first of all, like fundamentally, as an agency, it's hard to stand out. Like, because like. Yes, I would argue we do a lot of things unique, but if you're being really hardcore, it's not like we're doing anything particularly unique in that sense.
Right.
Some would say otherwise, and I would also say like we do a lot of cool things, but it's not something another agency couldn't do as well, right?
Right.
So and we have some unique takes and some unique angles, and we have some really awesome and best people out there and stuff like that. But fundamentally, it's not. We are not doing anything that people couldn't recreate. That's the core issue with an agency.
Yeah.
Like you could argue sometimes that like you have people in your agency that you can't replicate. Some would say like you can't just go out and copy a Casper, right? Or and I definitely have people on my team where I'm like, I don't know where to find another person like that, at least in Denmark.
I have the same. I said actually to someone today, I was like, I need to clone you. How do I clone you?
How do I clone you, right?
Because you're amazing.
So there's something there, but all things considered, it's not that much, right? So as an agency, that's an issue. I think the interesting, so what we're doing actually now is kind of like we're listening to what the market is talking about, but what they haven't figured out.
Okay.
And I think it's two things, and it's also tied into what we need to be better at as an agency. Because like we're first of all we're changing a lot of it to be outcome focused. We're like we always been that, but now our whole model is going to be outcome focused.
Okay,
that's a little bit different. So it's been very much paid media, like RevOps, like fixing your marketing engine, and then some content creation. Those are like the three core of what we've always done. Yep. We just never talked about it like when we sold it as outcome based. That's going to be different. Then what we're adding to is two things, and the number one is probably the most interesting to a lot of people is the AI. So we're gonna essentially build AI agents and then let them run part of the stuff we would normally run, but we manage those AI agents for folks, and that will be able to check some boxes up for people, so they will be able to say like, that's really cool. That's because that they have their managers like, hey, what are we doing in AI? Now they can go like, yeah, we have these AI agents that are running. SparkForce running.
And the advantage of you overseeing it is that you are feeding it and training it and making sure it stays up to date.
We will have our proprietary data. Great. Thanks. That was great. That was a great layup, Jen. Perfect.
I got you, boo.
I was actually great. I was awesome.
I look forward to my commission. My commission checks in the mail.
No, but I don't want to sound pitchy, but it's more like what we essentially asked us, how can we make it unique? How do we make sure that no one else is doing? Well, here we take in the different layers of our data. So not only do we get data from our clients, and we collectively do that, but we also have data from our specialist teams, and they train it. So if you are sitting, like, let's say you're doing paid search at Cerevo or right? And you can build an agent, and you can probably go on and find skill set, but that skill set will be based on some random who probably trained it really well, but doesn't necessarily have trained it on only B2B SaaS. And you might be able to get lucky. It might be now the one we will be trained by. Let's use paid search as an example, by my team. So Peter, Wasim, and Eden, who are fucking wizards at paid search, right? And they optimize this daily, spread across clients, and a bunch of clients that always all day get new optimizations. And that's a proprietary data in some sense that you can't just go out and collect that data somewhere else.
Can't scrape it. It's something only you guys would have. So you can feed that insight into the AI, and now you have a new offering at a probably cheaper price point.
Yes,
right?
exactly. And it's going to be cheaper, and it's going to be cheaper for us to serve. So we're also okay with it. Because like if it was the same cost to serve, then it wouldn't be interesting, right?
Yeah,
then we just like race to the bottom kind of thing. So this is going to be more like agents as a service kind of like thing, and that's going to be part of our not our core model, but part of our model as well. And then I think the last part, and it's more for SparkForce's development. This is not something we've been super strong on in the past that we're going to be strong is LLM visibility. And it's so funny because like I know we talk so much about SEO, and like for me it's a SEO. Like we just need to be better at SEO and then LLM visibility, and that's going to be one of our core focuses as well.
Nice.
So those are the two things, were bigger things or beyond the outcome that we're introducing to help bridge that gap.
Nice.
But small note. This is me spitballing a bit, but fundamentally, I think SparkForce is just the first step in how I see that journey.
Okay.
So SparkForce right now, in my journey, now it gets very personal, but the way I look at it is just like SparkForce is my journey to understanding B2B SaaS and that market and B2B and how to drive business better. I am way sharper than I ever have been on that part. I'm not necessarily Some would argue I'm really good at marketing, but I'm not as executional on marketing as I was before. So I'm a little bit more strategic.
Same girl, same.
Yeah,
same.
exactly, right?
The higher you go.
The higher you go, and I
less
think that's fair
tactical
to
you
say.
get.
I don't think that surprises anyone per se, but I'm way sharper at the whole part. And I think my point is just to say, and I need to use that one day. And I think you are the same in some sense. I need to use that one day. One day I need to sit, and my plan is SparkForce is not just gonna be an agency in 5 to 10 years. It might be a collection of companies that helps other SaaS companies, but also maybe run SaaS and run hardware and build their own companies within SparkForce that we then drive. That's also a potential, right? And I think this is just a starting point for that.
Well, watch this space, folks.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to add. I don't own a business. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. No,
Nah, that's not true.
no. I mean, like I said, with us at Cerebro, we're offering human advisory services as
I think it's super smart.
physical-ish component, right? It's not something we send you in the mail, but you can talk to a human being and you can get advice by people who are legally trained lawyers who are, hopefully not hallucinating like an AI would. And then we also have a very active community with thousands of people in it. So we're hopefully going to beat the AI. But yeah, of course, in any kind of SaaS where you're giving advice to people, they can get this advice from AI if they wanted.
I think an interesting point that we haven't, I know we need to end now, but an interesting point I want to bring up is the things we mentioned today is not something you cannot start to already think about, right?
You can add it to your business.
You can add it to your business. It's not like the hardware piece might be a little bit hard for some.
A little bit difficult.
But at least there's nothing like the proprietary data. Again, it might be hard, but
think about it.
Think about it.
Apply your growth mindset.
Is there any way you can find an opportunity to get some unique data points that no one else can get?
Yep. Use your growth mindset from episode 149 and find opportunities.
Yeah, exactly.
And how do you make your... I mean, we all talk about being sticky, right? Yeah. We want our app or our software to be sticky. We want people to come back into it. Think of ways to do that. Yeah. Giving people stuff they can't get from AI. Yeah. Making things reliable. Making things, legally binding advice that AI cannot provide you. Whatever that is, just think outside the box because AI is coming for you.
Yes, and whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not, it's coming for you. So just like the example we gave in the last episode of, the COVID with the hairdresser, who she couldn't cut people's hair anymore because it was COVID. So she sold online haircutting courses.
Exactly.
What's your COVID answer? What's
your COVID answer to that? And I think you need to be... And it's actually, it's a good example, Jen, because I think...
Thank you.
No, I think that's... No, also because what I'm thinking is just when COVID came along, no one was questioning if this was serious or not.
Yeah.
Do you get my point? Everyone was like, fuck, this is serious, on a health issue, of course. But more also on a business. Everyone was like, okay, what do we do?
What do we do?
I feel the urgency on AI, but not in the same level.
Yeah.
And fundamentally, I'm like, you should be at the same level.
You should be. Yeah, I think so too.
You should be, I don't know, called panic, but you should be at the same level of urgency of saying, COVID changed fundamentally a bunch of businesses while it was on. Yeah. You should be at the same level with AI.
I mean, COVID was literally I was in work one day and the next day I was working from home for 2 years. It was overnight. Here, maybe it's not overnight, but the speed at which AI is improving.
A massive company we work with lost product market fit in 3 months.
In 3 months, yeah.
3 months.
You probably have a month and a half to get your shit together. So it's not necessarily overnight, but you don't have years. You don't have quarters.
Time anymore.
You have to figure out what your niche is. Yeah. And start it now so that in 3 months, when your business becomes obsolete, you have something else.
You have something else ready, right?
Yeah.
I think it was, do you know the company Mutiny?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I think it was yesterday or something. They literally released that they're completely changing their product. I think if I recall correctly, back in the day when I first looked at Mutiny, it was more I was about to Google it now just to they just rebranded or repositioned because now they call it your AI agent for creating anything customer facing, and that's not what they did in the beginning.
No.
That's not at all. I was like, that's not what I used to talk to you guys about, right? At all. I talked about account-based marketing and lead scoring. They had these different scoring models you could do applying your forms and stuff like that. And I'm like, whoa, this is not the same at all.
Yeah.
And who knows if this is the right thing or it's going to work out. I don't think, but I think I got to give him credit for doing it.
Pivoting.
I love the pivot.
Yeah.
The pivot's so cool.
Yeah.
And the pivot's so powerful.
So that's something that we're seeing. I saw it in the portfolio. What are we going to do? But the problem is no one's really pulling the trigger.
Yes.
It's a lot of what are we going to do? Or how are we going to use AI to be more efficient? Don't worry about that.
And I think it's a classic thing of just like the ones who are decisive, the ones who are willing to take risks and be willing to make decisions that will impact the business and could make or break it.
It could make, well, the thing is, it's going to break one way or another.
Yes.
So either you sit there
and watch it happen
and on a sinking ship and watch AI take you, or try
100%.
So it's like, do I sit on the sinking Titanic or do I get in a lifeboat?
Yes.
Like, I might still die in the lifeboat, but at least I got a chance.
At least I had
I tried. Yeah. Tell my kids I died fighting.
Yeah.
Like, I think, so I think, it's important. Sorry, we kind of went off the rails, but I think this is we've got a really good conversation here going, mate. We got to keep going. But I think, we focus so much on how do we get efficiency gains with AI? How do we get efficiency gains? Efficiency gains are going to mean fuck all if you don't have a product anymore.
Yes.
So the effort that you're putting into, let's see how we use Notebook LM, or let's see how we use Claude, the effort you're putting into that, put into your product and building that moat around AI to protect you from AI.
Yeah.
And then, sure, efficiency gains are important, but not as important as having a damn product.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think let's just take a good example, right? Because like if you're building something that's, I won't call it easily replicatable, but like let's say OpenClaw, right? So have you heard of OpenClaw?
OpenClaw, no.
Oh, okay. So OpenClaw is essentially, it was kind of like it's been all the rage for a month, 2 months.
All the rage.
All the rage.
I love how you're like, oh, you've not heard of this thing that's only been around for a month?
I'm like, initial release date, I just looked this up, November 24.
Oh, okay. So it's been around. It's been around. Okay.
4 months.
Is this the personal AI assistant?
No, open source, autonomous, artificial intelligence, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Long word for just saying it's autonomous agent.
Got it.
Right, builder. And now, today, Anthropic also launched their own version of this, beyond Claude Code and stuff, that can do the same also offline. So I'm like, does OpenClaw need to exist anymore?
Yeah, I've already got a Claude subscription, so thank you very much.
4 months later.
Yeah.
Massive traffic traction. I don't know what's going to look like, but maybe it doesn't have traction in the next 4 months.
Yeah, but it was the same
could be
also
gone.
with like Midjourney, right? Like
Midjourney. When is the last time you used Midjourney?
I used tons of Midjourney.
Me too.
2 years ago.
I'm still part of Discord.
Oh, you are? Yeah. Fucking hell. But now it's like, I'm just going to put it into my Gemini, or I'm going to put it into...
I have not used Midjourney for a year.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So
and it was all the rage. Yeah.
It's like, do you remember the movie The Blob? I don't know. Yeah, it's just like rolling into your town, just devouring everything as it comes. So,
but I think Midjourney is a great example, right? Because like I can't remember the last time.
I got trained in Midjourney because remember you had to use very specific prompts, right? And yeah.
I actually, one of my friends, Morten, who is at this networking event and networking group with me, he's been speaking about Midjourney.
Okay.
He did talks on Midjourney usage and stuff. I need to ask him today if he still uses it.
Yeah.
Like if he's like how he sees it. Because personally, my take is just nope, not at all.
I was on stage in 2023. Talking about AI, and I was saying, what I do right now is I use Midjourney to create the image that I want my designer to do, so that I can kind of go, this is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
But I haven't done that since, maybe 2024.
No, exactly.
Maybe end of 2023.
Yeah.
So again, like a lot of these businesses that came out, it's the blob is coming for you. The AI blob is just slowly rolling into your town and just soaking up everything as it comes.
So if you're about to start a company, or you have a company that are facing some...
Open up a B2C.
Yeah. B2C. Like, just go out and sell some fucking water and call it like...
Ooh. I was thinking about this the other day, actually. What did they have? It was like the unpasteurized water or something. It was someone who was just literally selling like river water, and then they were wondering why everyone was getting like cholera or something.
Oh, really? But I think the funniest story is like Liquid Death, right?
Liquid Death, yeah.
That's like... I've never tasted it, actually. Isn't it just water? It's just water, right?
I've heard of it.
It's
Liquid
just water.
Death, quench your thirst. A better-for-you beverage with water, iced tea, and sparkling energy.
Okay, but I'm quite sure there's part of it that's just water.
But again, I was listening to this on my podcast, and they're like, oh, what kind of water do you prefer? Oh, I prefer Fiji. Like... It's fucking water.
It's a fucking
Fiji water. Yeah. But
I do like spring water. I have to be. I'm a little bit like that. I don't know. I'm weird. But
bougie.
Yeah, I know.
You're bougie.
Anyway, now we're gonna end it.
We are gonna end this. Okay, so
we could talk forever about this.
Quick takeaways for the listeners who skipped.
Yeah, if you skipped all this, like quick takes, if you're building a SaaS today, I think you need to have focus on getting some sort of proprietary data, some unique data set that only you can get, that no other thing can use. And then you can use it for wherever you want, but you have to find some sort of unique data set you can get from your customers or clients or generate somehow.
Yep.
That would be my number one. Number two is this hardware. See if you can have some sort of hardware component that's not easily, like you can't really get AI to build some hardware, at least that easy. And the same, in same note, create some sort of service component where you connect a human being to your service or to your SaaS. So there's something that the humans can validate parts that other people's products can't do. And then you had the point about, especially about on the go-to-market side, build a community, like build some
Email
followers
lists.
to like as your founder, but also the community have something you own in that sense. Email
Slack
list,
channel,
Slack
email
channel,
list, Substack.
something like that. So you can bring that, and that you can't really replicate with AI in the same way.
Okay.
Good luck.
Go do that.
Go do
Avoid
that.
the blob.
Yeah, and if you do all those, then call me. I'll invest.
Call us. Okay.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.